Good morning, and we are live. You're going to have to bear with me today. We are struggling infrastructure-wise here in the great state of Texas. This is last night. Our primary internet service provider just went away. It just died. There's absolutely no service there. And the reason I blame it on the state of Texas is because we have no we've got no inspectors. We've got no one in the government that tries to make sure that corporations do the right thing. So yeah, this is what our backup system is doing. You know, I've got two redundancies here so that we can pull this show off. This is the backup system. As you can see, it is barely existent. And this is this that we've got now is the backup system, which is running slightly better than that. So we may be a little bit choppy or a little bit jumpy, but we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. Please be patient. Bear with us. That being said, we've got a lot to talk about today, important things to talk about. So let's just do this. Let's jump in. Let's fill your cups, grab a pen and paper, and let's get this done. I appreciate you guys. Uncle Russ here says Elon Musk will sell me Starlink, but he's evil. Well, you know, there's a reason that I won't do Starlink. One, I'm just not going to send this guy a couple $1,000s a year of my money. I'm just not going to do it. This is just not something that I can, with good conscience, support. If you have a Tesla, if you have any of his products, you know, no.
Which is like nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala because it's pointless. What do you achieve? Nothing.
No, it's totally
just find
right.
another puppet.
Exactly. That's
it's no point in
it's deep and true though.
Nobody's trying to kill Joe Biden.
It's
It would be pointless.
Totally.
Which is like nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala because it's pointless.
Yeah, I'm not giving that guy any of my money. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give him any of your money. Y'all are the ones that pay for this show. Y'all pay for the subscriptions. Y'all pay for everything. Y'all pay for 3 redundant internet services, which is the best we can do out here. 2 redundant systems. That's the best we can do out here. I am not giving that son of a bitch my money. I'm not going to do it. And if you've got a Tesla, fuck you. Rivian's made in America, founded by Americans. Yeah, there are options. There are options. Sharon Reddy, right out the gate. Thank you for the support, Sharon. So what Comer is saying is 35 to 40 years ago, infallible Chinese psychics knew Biden would drop out. Harris would be nominated and pick that 20-something teacher over there as a VP. Yeah. The amount of crazy coming out of the right wing is it's off the charts. It is off the charts. I mean, you've got, this is just, I like to just normally like to give you a little upper at the beginning of the show to give you energy to get through all the negativeness. Nah, we're not doing that today. We're not. We're going to dive right into it. This is the kind of stuff that you're hearing. This is Fox News. This is Jesse Waters talking with Stephen Miller. This is the kind of thing that they're talking about.
We just have to address the elephant in the room. We're getting a lot of texts from women about Miller and his appearances and his appearance. Our audience at primetime believes you're some sort of sexual matador. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, let me give advice.
I don't know, ladies. What do you say? What do you say, ladies? Is old Miller there a sexual matador? You know, with everything that's going on in this world, that's what Fox News and Jesse Waters are talking about. And that's not like from 2 years ago, folks. This is just yesterday. So when I tell you, yeah, I got to marinate in this ugly shit. This is the kind of stuff that thank you for being here, people. I love you, people. And you know, I mean, there are important things to talk about going on. I mean, there are critical things to talk about. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, like, you know, Oklahoma's put in the request for funding. They're going to buy those damn Trump Bibles. They are. They're going to buy those damn Trump Bibles. You know, of course, kudos here to Ron Filipkowski for pointing out it was actually AP that did the journalism on this. But kudos to Midas and Ron Filipkowski and those guys over there for getting, you know, a little bit more background information on it, on the Trump Bibles. They're made in Hangzhou, China. The cost on them is $3 per. But the Oklahoma school system run by Republicans is going to pay $3 million for 55,000 of them. Yeah. They're going to take Oklahoma. They're going to take your money. They're going to take your money. And they are going to give it to Donald Trump because they made such ridiculous hurdles that anyone would have to jump through. I mean, it's bad enough they're going to buy Bibles and shove them into the schools. They're going to shove their religion, and you can tell it's not your religion, it's their religion, into their schools because they're going to buy Trump Bibles. But, you know, have you heard this is the important stuff that the right wing is doing right now. I mean, this is going on right now. And if you haven't heard, the mandates, the requirements for these Bibles are just ridiculous. They've got to be bound in a leather or leather-like material. Hence, you know, the Trump Bible is the fake, shitty, plastic brown cover. It's got of course, you know, I know my Bible has the U.S. Constitution in it, the Pledge of Allegiance, the Declaration of Independence. All of that, of course, is in my Bible. I mean, isn't it in your Bible? I mean, you know, that's what, give me a break. Give me a freaking break. And they're trying to do damage control on it. They know. Peter Campbell, hoping for the best for our fellow Americans in Florida ahead of Milton. We're going to get there, my guy. We're going to get there. That's where I'm going with this. I am drawing a juxtaposition between what they're saying and doing and what really needs to be going on. So let's just finish up here. To do damage control, you've got The Hill, which has just ruined it. You know, The Hill used to be a very reputable publication. It did. I mean, they were shot callers, man. They did. Now they've just turned into this crap where they run interference for right wingers. But yeah, this is the headline. Oklahoma shifts Bible rules after accusations of pro-Trump bias, but will schools comply? No, the schools aren't going to comply. They aren't. They're short on money. They're not going to waste money on this. They aren't. The school board, the state-run Trump-sucking piece of crap that runs their schools, he's going to spend money, but these schools are not going to waste time and energy on this. I tell you right now, you're going to get some rural Trumpers that do this crap, but no, Tulsa schools are not going to do this. But they're saying, you know, they're running this BS headline that they shifted the requirements because everybody said those requirements are ridiculous. There's only one Bible out there that has all that crap in it. And yes, I just called the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution crap. I'm sorry for that, but it shouldn't be in the damn Bible. They did this just to funnel money. It's always a grift to funnel money to Donald Trump. And they ran this headline. No, they didn't change their requirements. All they changed is they changed one line that said, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be in one book. Okay, so you're going to get competing publishers that are going to send you 4 books versus the Donald Trump Bible, which is 1 book. Yeah, they didn't change shit. They didn't. All they did was they changed the rules so no one can compete with the damn Trump Bible. They are bound and determined to take $3 million of Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's 49th in education. 49th out of 50 states. They're 49th. You got to forgive me. I'm a little hot today. I'm sorry. This stuff pisses me off. This is why I'm a Democrat, people. Your state is 49th out of 50. And you're going to waste $3 million not on feminine hygiene products for your girls. You're not going to do that. You're not going to feed your kids breakfast, because Oklahoma's, a frickin' poor state. You're not going to feed your kids breakfast so that they can focus and learn. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to, double down on STEM classes. You're not going to do, no. We're going to send $3 million to Donald Trump because we're in his freaking cult and we want to guzzle those orange balls. God, I hate these people. Lori Yates, thank you for the support. Yeah, we have a separation of church and state in this country. We're supposed to, but they're trying really hard to turn us into redneck Taliban. That's what they're trying to do. E.T. from Orlando, Florida. Everyone in the storm's path, please be safe. Yes, my friend. We are going there. We are going there. But no, that's not the only news breaking. The Republicans, they do stuff, man. They do stuff, right? Unfortunately, it's just not important stuff. Unfortunately, it's not important stuff. Donald Trump's been busy. He's been busy. What's Donald Trump been doing? Yeah, the New York Times just broke this, and I'll let Brother.
We learned a little bit more about what he said. There's news reporting that Donald Trump has had as many as 7 private phone calls with Vladimir Putin. I can guarantee you that Kamala Harris and I do not have dictators on speed dial. So,
yeah, the New York Times just broke that story. Donald Trump, Joe Biden hasn't had 7 private phone calls with Vladimir Putin. And he's the president of the United States. That's what the Republicans are doing. That's it. That's what they're doing. Nuzzling Putin's balls. The Republican Party has joined with our enemy, the Russians. I'm going to give you an example here in just a minute of foreign interference that the Republicans are just bear hugging. These people are freaking sorry. And what did you hear? What did you hear out of the corporate media who are more than willing to bend over and grab their freaking ankles for these sorry bastards? What did you hear from them? Oh, Kamala Harris won't do an interview. She won't talk to us. When she's doing interviews, we're sitting here, I'm playing you footage of interviews that she's doing. And then you've got the corporate media sitting there saying, she's not doing interviews. Well, you know what? Here's a little dose of reality for the corporate media and everybody around. Yeah, you got to free him.
A week ago, Trump backed out. The campaign offered shifting explanations. First, it complained that we would fact-check the interview. We fact-check every story. Later, Trump said he needed an apology for his interview in 2020. Trump claims correspondent Leslie Stahl said in that interview that Hunter Biden's controversial laptop came from Russia. She never said that. Trump has said his opponent doesn't do interviews because she can't handle them. He had previously declined another debate with Harris, so tonight may have been the largest audience for the candidates between now and Election Day.
Oh, 60 Minutes just found out after sucking Trump's balls for the last, I don't know how long, that Donald Trump doesn't give a crap about you. As usual, he only cares about himself. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about this. And you know what? 60 Minutes, you people have just been carrying this BS forever. But you know what? The smart ones, I've told you about Frank Luntz before. I have told you, do not sleep on Frank Luntz. Frank Luntz is a Republican institution. Frank Luntz has built most of the talking points that Republicans have repeated for the last 50, for decades. Frank Luntz has been carrying the Republican Party. Almost every talking point you've heard out of the Republican Party came from Frank Luntz. I love you people. You're always so GR Saucedo. I prefer Stephen Colbert 60. Yeah, we're getting there, brother. We're getting there. You're always so ahead of the curve. I love you people. That's why I'm telling you, after marinating in this shit, coming to talk. Anyways, this is what Frank Luntz have to say. Watch him protect his own institution, his own reputation here.
What was your initial reaction to somebody who focuses on words and disposition, perhaps?
Well, first off, she is now, took a while, but she's now taking the tough interviews, getting asked the tough questions and being.
Yes, the Kamala Harris doesn't do interviews crap came directly out of Frank Luntz's shop. He's the one that absolutely pushed that nonsense, and he's covering his ass and backtracking here.
Being challenged. 60 Minutes did an outstanding job trying to get answers from her. And second, it's actually Donald Trump who's ducking debates and ducking that interview on 60 Minutes that he had said he would do and then backed away from. So she gets credit for that.
Yeah, no shit, she gets credit for that. No shit, she gets credit for that. She's the only one that's been out there talking to the American people. Donald Trump's been talking to Putin. That's why he won't do an interview, because that's still hot on people's minds. That just broke yesterday, that it's been as many as 7 conversations that Donald Trump has had, private conversations with Vladimir Putin. And you wonder why they keep pushing. I tell you, look, I can show you in Russia what they say on RT, on their shows, and then boom, Republicans say the exact same talking points. Where do you think it comes from? It's a straight pipeline from the Russians who hate us, who want to destroy us, to the Republican Party, who are more than happy because they think that the bigotry and crap that Russia pushes will take them to the promised land. It will give them the power that they want. Not because they care about America. No, they're more than willing to go along with our enemy that wants to destroy America, because they're more than happy to rule over ashes if it means that they have their gated estate and they get their money, and they're not big picture people. They don't get it. Thank you for the support, Louis. I appreciate you. Forgive me, I'm a little hot today. I am a little hot today. But you know what? Not everybody buys into it. And this is why Donald Trump is threatening to jail people like Stephen Colbert. James Thompson, Putin, Orange Guy, Elon Musk all want followers. I'm a vet of 20 years. And for freedom like driving down Highway 66 was. Amen, brother. Amen. Big picture this shit. It's about freedom. It's about what our country was. Yeah. Was it hard to watch? Yes. Democracy is ugly. It's like watching sausage being made. It pisses you off because they shake hands and they make deals. That's democracy. Not everybody gets 100% of everything they want. But these right-wingers aren't okay with that. I mean, Christ. But here's Brother Stephen. God bless him. He didn't want an interview with Donald Trump. He didn't. This is his 60 Minutes opening. Rip on the 60 Minutes opening anyway.
Good evening. It has been a tradition here at the Late Show.
1 second.
Good evening. It has been a tradition here at The Late Show since yesterday that the major party candidates sit down with me for an interview in October. We invited Kamala Harris to be our guest this evening, and she accepted. That interview in a moment. In the interest of fairness, we also invited former President Donald Trump to go himself. He declined our offer.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. You do. You just gotta love it. But look, man, there are serious things going on. The outer bands of Milton are just starting to buffet Florida. Thank God it's dialed down from to Category 4. There are people in our community, right here, in our chat, in the storm's path. People that we know that I have made friends out of this show. I have people that have personally become part of my friendship into my household. These are people that we talk outside the show that are in Florida. That I care about these people. They're good people. They're good people. And they're, when something like this is happening, we have no time for the stupidity that's been coming out of the right. And even their governors know this. Look, this had to be done. This is ridiculous. Forgive me. This is about 3 minutes long, and I'm sorry about that. But it's important that you hear it from these people. These are Republican governors talking about the Hurricane Helene response.
So this is a great team effort, and I assure you it's going to be done. But this is one that is going to take.
The audio gets better. That's Governor McMaster from South Carolina.
The federal government is helping us well. They're embedded with us, and there's no asset out there that we.
Be patient. The audio does get better.
I'm incredibly appreciative of the rapid response and the cooperation from the federal team at FEMA. I've been on the phone over the weekends with the senior FEMA administrator. The team has been deployed. We had our declaration of emergency processed in an expedited way over the weekend and was finalized yesterday.
That was Governor Youngkin.
As of today,
this is McMaster's
the
again.
ongoing kind of federal assistance for South Carolina? What is that?
It's been superb. I finally was able to speak to the president yesterday afternoon after he missed me and I missed him leaving. He left a voicemail, I left a voicemail. So we finally connected yesterday afternoon. He said that whatever we need to let him know, and we're doing that. Also, Secretary Buttigieg called yesterday. Also, Deanie Criswell for FEMA has also called. So, and a number of the governors have called. So we're getting assistance, and we're asking for everything we need. And fortunately, we have a great team that's got a lot of experience and a lot of vision, and they're able to make full use of all these assets.
We have been coordinating across.
Governor Youngkin again.
I have to say, pre-positioning all of the resources ahead of the storm was critical. And we were able to do the exact same thing. We have been, Sean, I have to say, working well with FEMA. They, in fact, were moving very quickly over the last few days for us, and getting these resources has been critically important.
So I just spoke.
Governor Kemp of Georgia
called me yesterday afternoon. I missed him and called him right back. And he just said, "Hey, what do you need?" And I told him, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I appreciate that.
Do you think that maybe some more federal aid or state aid could be on the way?
It is. It's on the way. It is certainly on the way. I guess you missed what we talked about inside. Yes.
Now, I want to pause for just 1 second. It's almost over. And I know this has been a long video, folks, and I apologize for that. But here these reporters constantly trying to revive that right-wing talking point. They're constantly trying to keep that narrative, bullshit narrative that the response hasn't been fantastic, alive.
Yes.
You weren't allowed to be in there. So if you could brief us,
yeah.
that'd be great.
Well, President Biden called Sunday night and promised whatever we needed through FEMA. And Federal Administrator Criswell called, I think, sometime around then. Transportation Secretary Buttigieg called, I think, 2 days ago, providing whatever help he could provide.
You know, what I said the other day was,
There it is.
we submitted requests to basically just utilize the existing federal programs that Americans, you know, have a right to access, and we got approval for what we asked for.
Now, there's one Republican governor that was missing in this lineup, and I think it's worth hearing from Bill Lee of Tennessee, who is a rabid MAGA Trumper. This is what Bill Lee had to say.
There's a lot of misinformation. In fact,
You're damn
there's
right
some
there is.
belief and understanding that may be coming from foreign sources just to confuse on the ground what's happening here.
You're
There's
damn
no
right it is.
Confiscation of supplies or of products coming in by FEMA or TEMA. Look, these people are in tears. And you see the TEMA director get emotional yesterday about the people that we are serving.
Keep that comment up.
I saw a county mayor every single day with tears in their eyes, emotional, serving the people alongside their FEMA and TEMA counterparts in their EOCs.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter here. I appreciate the support, Peter. I am livid at Laura Ingraham and Alina Habba spew lies about hurricanes relief. My sister's house was hit by Helene. You know, there so many people have been, thank you, Peter. I really appreciate you. So many people have been, their lives really, this isn't a game, people. This isn't something we're playing online. This is really people's lives. And there's a reason that these governors have had to come out and say this nonsense. And it's this right here. InfoWars. You thought that jackass was gone? You thought he was gone? Oh, no. Breaking. Lawmakers briefed on weather modification tech conclude Hurricane Helene was DOD-linked weather weapon deployed against American people. Yeah, Alex Jones. Yeah, Alex Jones. And if you think that people aren't hearing this, this is one of the paid, you know, I'm going to show you some serious foreign intervention here. This person has 550,000 followers. I will promise you that more than half of those are Russian bots. Look at the responses to this tweet put out. WR Shock here says, our own government with a Star of David, yeah, we know what the message is there, right? Sent Hurricane Helene across our country on purpose, yada, 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 yada. These are all responses to this tweet. This nonsense. If true, this is murder. Yeah, I want you to see, this is Russian bots. This is foreign interference in our elections. This is active misinformation to hurt the American people. Just look at these responses. These are not people. This is straight up Russian interference from Russian bots and white supremacist bots and trolls, because the white supremacists have taken up the mantle. You've got like groups like the Patriot Front and Vanguard and all those people that are actually running on X misinformation. This all came out. This all came out right after this. I mean, as one big push. I'm going to show you another example. This is Elisa Farah Griffin. She worked in the Trump administration. She was the spokesperson for the Pentagon in the Trump administration. And Anderson Cooper was interviewing her, talking about the misinformation. I got a small snippet of it here. First, I want you to hear what she says. Then I want you to see the bot response at the bottom.
What do you make of that sort of playing out?
I think everyone's still being afraid of having that Chris Christie hugging Obama moment of embracing, a different political partisan. But the reality is this, like, I worked for Vice President Pence, and anytime there was a major natural disaster, he would also be calling governors, members of Congress in the areas that were affected. It's not just the president. So yes, she's a candidate, but it's also an entirely appropriate thing for the Vice President of the United States to be doing. And it's a moment for him to rise to the occasion of leadership and show, hurricanes don't choose Republicans or Democrats. This is going to be a whole of government effort. And I would just also note that.
Okay, we don't have to hear the whole thing. What she's talking about, if you haven't been following, if you want to follow my follower of mine on social media, I've already just lost my freaking mind over this, is dumbass DeSantis came out and made a public statement that he is not taking calls from Kamala Harris in regards to the hurricane response to Helene. And the right-wingers loved it. Just loved it. Oh, that's right. You show her. She ain't nobody. Of course, 5 minutes ago, you were saying she was responsible for every policy that you don't like, the Vice President of the United States. But we're not going to talk about reason. Okay. This is a former member of the Trump campaign, the Trump administration. She was the spokesperson for the Pentagon, talking about, you take the call when the VP calls because it's all hands on deck in a situation like this. It's not just, just the president that calls people. You get all the way down the chain throughout the administration, people calling governors to facilitate and coordinate. You take that phone call. Mike Pence did it. Of course, Kamala Harris is going to do it. Everybody's done it, right? That really makes DeSantis look like a jackass, and it totally sinks their attack on Kamala Harris. She's nobody. She's nobody. I mean, this is the crap that the right wing is doing. Instead of the response to the hurricane, this is what they're doing. They're buddying up, bear hugging Russian disinformation. If you want to see how much disinformation this is, let me read this first. Sherry Foster, it's not much, but you know what, sweetheart, it is a lot. $10 is a lot. It is a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's not much, but here's for everybody in the middle of all the. Yeah, I appreciate the support. I really do. I really do. Matthew Preble, we're seeing 80 plus years of Russian propaganda. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're right about that. They didn't start this yesterday. Just Joan, thank you for what you do. Hey, we do. We're a community here. We're a community here. This doesn't stop with me and it coming out my mouth. You learn this stuff. You see this stuff so that you can take it to your damn dumbass MAGA relatives that say stupid shit. And you can shut them down. But let me get this off the screen, okay? Let me show you this. Just scroll down a little bit, okay? It is a verbatim single talking point. Then why hasn't she done this for 3.5 years? That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that she's never done it before. Moving the bar. They're trying to say, and that's not true. She's been involved in everything the administration has done, but this is their new talking point because DeSantis got destroyed. Kamala Harris is meaningless and not important talking point just disappeared like, no pun intended, but like a fart in a hurricane. They've got to have a new talking point. They've got to, and here it is, bot after bot after bot after bot, repeating the same thing. Yes, but the point is she didn't do it until this year. She's just doing this for the campaign. That's the new talking point. Why didn't she do it in the last 3.5 years? There's another one right there. I mean, it's just, there are literally hundreds of the exact same statement by bots over and over and over again on this post. That is what Russian disinformation looks like. It's what it looks like. And you get these accounts that these bots have followed, and you get a guy like me. I go out there, I put information out, and you've seen it. When I've been wrong about something, I pull it down and I do a correction and I tell you where the mistake is, because good information is important. It is important to be accurate. But these people, these accounts, they'll have twice as many followers as I do because half of them are freaking bots. And what's the point of the bots? Every misinformation post they put out, I beg you, hit the thumbs up button, please. I beg you, please hit the subscribe button, because that's what their bots do. They take this misinformation, and these bot accounts, they hit the like button, and then they post an AI comment, which forces that misinformation to the top of the algorithm. It puts a bullhorn on their misinformation. That's the shit I fight every damn day. Fortunately, I'm damn good looking and eloquent, and people like to hear what I have to say, and I don't need bots to carry my message. People just want to talk to me for some reason. But that's it. That's the game. You just saw it with your own eyes. That's the game. The new talking point isn't that she's not important anymore because, oh, well, reality smacked him in the ass. Oh, wait a minute. You mean Mike Pence was involved in this? Other people in Republican administrations have been involved in these things. Oh, so your talking point that, oh, well, she's just not important, just evaporated like a fart in a hurricane. So new talking point. It's a lie, but what does it matter? We're only 3 weeks from a little over 3 weeks from the election. Lie your ass off. That's what they do, people. Meanwhile, really, Milton is going to tear ass through Florida tonight. Our friends are really going to need a real government response. Not this crap. And kudos to Kamala Harris. Like I said, she's been going out and she's been doing the interviews. This was her response. And Ana Navarro, a lifelong Republican. Ana Navarro is a lifelong Republican. She is a Florida Cuban. And if you know anything about Florida and Florida politics, the Cubans tend to be Republicans. This is Ana Navarro on The View with Kamala Harris. God bless Kamala Harris.
Through a lot, but this is going to be different than they've been before. And I know a lot of folks might think, I've been through this. I grew up here. I've seen it all. I'll be fine. This one is going to be different. And that's why I called the governor about what Florida has received in terms of impact. We have to have an agreement that at some point we all need to work together to combine resources, especially federal, state, and local resources around these kinds of disasters. And I think it's a shame that that hasn't happened, but look, it has at the local level and with other state elected. So
he'll take your call when you're president.
Here's the thing you should know on that point. And when I'm president, I will continue to call him to see what he needs for help.
Maybe he won't be in office anymore then.
Amen. That's a leader. That's a leader. He was a jackass. I don't care. Okay. Ana Navarro's Nicaraguan? I thought she was Cuban. My bad. I'm sorry. I thought she was Cuban. She's Nicaraguan. She's from Florida. I know that. Accuracy is important. Thank you. That's why I love you people. I get one wrong every once in a while. You people are right there. You got my back. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Because information is important. It is important to get accurate information out there. I know I've heard her speak on behalf of the Cuban community before, so that's where I picked it up. That's probably where I picked it up. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being part of the show and getting good information out. That's what we're doing here. That's why I say it ain't me, folks. It's us. It's us. But yeah, just, look, this is real. This is real. Okay? This is real. As Hurricane Milton, it looks like it's going to hit around Sarasota. Everything Florida gets out of this storm is going to be the worst of the worst. I'm praying to, that it just, and you know me and my religious beliefs. If I'm praying, we're in trouble. Folks, God, I hope this storm spins down. Right now it's a 4. Let's really hope that it loses energy. Its bands are incredibly wide. They're looking at like 18 to 24 hours of serious storms as this hurricane pushes over Florida. But yeah, they're getting hit with the right end of that storm, what they call the dirty side of the storm. It's because it's moving eastward. So they're getting the eastward side of the entire frickin' storm. That's bad, folks. That is bad. It's the east side of the storm that tends to spawn the tornadoes. It is the east side of the storm that produces the horrific, massive sized hail. And they're going to get it all. The storm is tracking east. So everything they get is going to be the worst of it, folks. This isn't a joke. These are our people from our community, our friends. And no, not everybody can leave. Not everybody can leave. I just, so please, no negative comments about the people that didn't evacuate. That happens every time this happens. Well, you should have left. You should have. Some people can't. Some people just can't. I have an older friend who can't, riding this out. And it's just, it's heart-wrenching to see what's going on and how people are reacting. And folks, I made this call. I normally go with the experts. I really do. I normally go with the experts. I do. But when they said Milton was going to be a 1, maybe a 2, when it got to Florida, I was like, no, that's not going to happen. That's not no. And what happened? It spun up to a 5. Now it's weakened to a 4. It may hit as a 3. I hope to God that it spins down to a 2 and they were right. But yeah, no. I think they're wrong about something else. There's another hurricane out in the Atlantic right now. Just moved up from a tropical storm to a hurricane. It's Hurricane Leslie. They have the spaghetti track saying, for some reason, it's going to take a hard right turn. I don't think that's going to happen, folks. There are a few tracks that have it going south. The spaghetti tracks, there's a couple that have it going south. Straight westward. Folks, I believe Milton is going to destroy that high-pressure system as it blows through. The one that they thought was going to force Leslie to turn northward into the Atlantic and not be a problem like Hurricane Kirk did. Hurricane Kirk did that. It ran into the high-pressure system on the eastern seaboard that's been causing all those high temperatures, and it got pushed back out into the Atlantic. Leslie is south of Kirk. And Milton, I believe, is going to run through. It's going to demolish that high pressure system. It's just going to lower temperatures. And I'm really, really, really afraid that Leslie, as a hurricane, a Cat 1, Cat 2 hurricane, is going to run right over Florida again next week. We don't have time for this crap. We just don't. We don't. This misinformation, this craziness. They're making the weather. They're attacking us with weather. It's insanity. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene actually telling her constituents this kind of stuff. And again, I tell you all the time, these politicians know the best lies have a slight kernel of truth. Remember all the flooding they had in the Middle East because they were seeding clouds? Yeah, that's a real thing. Cloud seeding is a real thing. They've been working on that to try to help areas like, that lack rainfall, dry, parched desert areas. They've been trying for decades to figure out how to get what little moisture they have to fall as rain. Because if you can start the cycle, you can change the cycle itself. And we just saw the flooding in the Middle East because they screwed up. They had an actual very rare weather system coming through that was going to produce rain, and they seeded the crap out of it and flooded their own cities. You know, so there's this little kernel of truth that cloud seeding is real, but no, it's not a weapon. You can't generate a freaking hurricane. You can't point it as a weapon at right-wing voters that love Trump. You can't. No. God damn it, no! You got people, hillbilly Appalachians out there that are literally refusing to talk to FEMA. You know, FEMA's there. Look, I can get you a hotel. We've got hotels booked. All I need to do is put your name on the room. We prepaid for it. Just give me your information. No, you want to take my land. I know you want me out of here so you can take my land. No, man, I want to give you a bathroom, a place to take a shower. And you got that piece of shit Alex Jones out there so he can make a little money, telling people this insanity. To hell these people. To hell with these people. To hell with all. Fortunately, we have a real leader running. Got a couple clips of you from the interviews with Kamala Harris. The View was amazing. 60 Minutes was okay. I didn't care for it much. I really didn't. Kamala Harris did an amazing job. It's worth watching. She did a great job, gave in-depth answers. They did not play her entire answers. It was more important for 60 Minutes to say what 60 Minutes wanted to say than listen to what Kamala Harris was saying. And that frustrated me. But this was her on The View. She did a great job. And
Donald Trump prefers to run on problems instead of fixing problems. He's not solution oriented. And again, I will invite people, if you really need to know how he thinks, since he doesn't do these kinds of interviews, watch his rallies. He spends full time engaged in grievance about what has happened to him.
Right.
He spends full time perpetuating lies and misinformation. He spends full time talking about fictional characters, you know, I mean,
calling, a lot of
name calling and demeaning people, belittling people. But what he does not talk about is you. He does not talk about what you need. He does not talk about what your parents need, what your children's need. That's not what he talks about. He doesn't talk about your child's needs. He talks about his needs. And I think, again, back to the point, in this election, people are ready for a new generation of leadership that's about fixing problems. Donald Trump prefers to run on problems instead of fixing problems. He's not solution oriented.
yeah, I got to tell you, I can't play all the clips or all the interviews. I mean, that's what they do for a living, folks. I mean, I can play you a few clips, but yeah, I saw a comment there that the interview, her sit down with Colbert was amazing. It was really, really freaking good. She also did an interview with Howard Stern. Here's a piece of that.
You're coming here, you went on The View this morning, you're going to the shows, you did 60 Minutes. By the way, I thought what was so amazing about 60 Minutes is the fact that Trump turned it down.
Yeah.
I mean, it just says so much. He didn't want to be fact-checked. This is maddening. This is insanity. What do you mean you don't want to be fact-checked?
I think that, Howard, people ask me, like, what do you think is going on and what is the tension here? What's at stake? And there are many things, and I can be much more articulate than what I'm going to say. But ultimately, I do believe that this is an election that is about strength versus weakness.
Yeah.
And weakness as projected by someone who puts himself in front of the American people and does not have the strength to stand in defense of their needs, their dreams, their desires, the work that must happen to make sure that we are a secure nation, that we are nurturing and protecting our alliances around the world, that we are supporting America's military, that we are fighting to bring the cost of living down for working families, that we are building businesses, building growth.
You know what I love about these? What I absolutely love about these is the sincerity. You can hear it in her voice. You can hear, this is what I feel. This, it's not just, this is the answer that we put together for this question. No, you can hear the sincerity in her voice. You know, I got to tell you, folks. Yeah, I get pissed off, and yeah, sure, politics is a blood sport. We all do it. But at the end of the day, it's about doing what the American people can't do for themselves. And I say that over and over and over again, just to remind people, this isn't about getting your jollies online because you're some right-wing freak that gets fed memes every day, and they're really nasty about liberals and makes you feel better about yourself and all that. No, that's not what government's all about. At the end of the day, government is about doing what the people cannot do for themselves. And we're getting a firsthand masterclass in what those kind of things can be, because so often they're lost. You know, I was pointing out the shitty internet we have here in Texas. I can't fix that. You know, I don't have the oomph to fix that. You know, your meat inspections. When's the last time you cooked a steak medium rare and thought, hey, this might kill me? Not in your lifetime. There's a reason for that. Because there's a guy that gets his paycheck from the United States government that walks into a corporation. He walks into someone else's building, and he enforces regulations on those people on our behalf. When's the last time your kid was sick and you thought, oh, this might kill my kid? I wonder if there's mercury in this medicine. Not in your lifetime. Well, maybe in some of our lifetimes. I mean, y'all, you know, some of y'all might be old enough to remember the old Tylenol scares. What did they do? What did they do? Remember the old Tylenol? People were poisoning Tylenols and putting them back on the shelf. What did they do? They made them seal the containers so that you could tell if someone had tampered with it. You couldn't do that. The government had to do it. And that's the kind of stuff the Republicans want to kill. It is. They're telling you. They want to kill every one of these agencies that make it so you never have to wonder if the medicine you're giving to your grandchild because she has a fever might kill her. And I want you to listen to them talk. The sincerity. This is what it's about, folks, right here. You know, these hurricane responses, it's not set it and forget it. You have to be mindful of what's going on the ground. And they've moved from a rescue portion of the response to, okay, we got to get this infrastructure back up. They got over 90% of the people that lost power have it back. Those that don't have it back need a different response than the opening response, because those people that don't have, you know, that 6 to 8% of people that don't have power back because of catastrophic losses of transmission lines. things like that. That requires a different response than having a bunch of linemen in trucks clearing trees off lines so that you can get rid of the shorts and you can turn the substation back on. This is real, folks. This is real. So yeah, Joe Biden just changed the response from we're going to work with the state National Guards to we're going to send active duty experts in to get these highways open so that we can get the equipment in to fix the remaining infrastructure and we can get these people's lives back on track. It's not sexy. It's not. You would die of boredom watching these conversations. But it's necessary. You got to have somebody doing it that knows what the hell they're doing it. Thanks for the support, Veronica. I really appreciate it. I really do. And yes, go Biden. That's why I'm a Democrat, folks. That's why I'm a Democrat. Because we'll do the damn job. And the job's necessary. It's necessary. Florida and all those folks in that area are getting a master class in what the government does. Unfortunately, because Republicans remember Katrina. Yeah, a lot of people like to say, oh, well, it's because of Trump. It's not because of Trump. George W. Bush didn't give a crap about people either. He put the guy that ran the American Arabian Horse Federation in charge of FEMA. You remember Heck of a Job, Brownie? Remember Heck of a Job, Brownie? Remember Brownie? Well, right now, Helene, 275 people have died. It is the second worst hurricane ever for deaths. The reason is the area it hit. We talked about the river basins, how the roads run along river basins and the construction runs along the river basins and the valleys. But no, it wasn't because of, a Katrina type disaster where nobody was doing their damn job, because everybody that got put in place to do the damn job was incompetent. Because George W. Bush didn't give a crap. No. This would have been far worse if the Republicans had been in charge. Far worse. Take a look at the devastation track of Helene. It is massive. It is 5 times the size of Katrina. And less people have died. It matters. This is real. This isn't crap. This isn't Russian bots pushing crap on social media. This isn't your uncle that wants to own you because, oh yeah, his identity is I'm a Republican. No, this is real. We have our friends, people from this show, people from our regular audience are about to get hit by Milton. This is real. I can't say that enough. Susie Q, I wish people would realize the Indies and Dems want to save money too, just not at the expense of our fellow Americans. Yeah, I mean, amen. Truth. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate you doing it. By the way, the new Tuck Front mugs are available. Get them while you can. There's only 3 weeks left, a little over 3 weeks left in the election. I need you to do it, folks. I need you to keep track of your early voting. We're going to talk about that on Friday. We're going to talk about the states that are already early voting. Talk about some of the states that are coming up for early voting. I need you to vote like it matters, because it does. It does. It really does. I love you, folks. I've enjoyed spending time with you. Can you believe an hour blew by that fast? Wow. Thank you, Uncle Russ. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But yeah, enjoy some Texas cities at night and vote.